Are you struggling with chronic insomnia for years and years and years, and you're feeling hopeless? You're feeling like it's not possible, like you must not be able to overcome it. Something must be broken in you. Well, what if I had some proof for you that it is possible to overcome it, and you are not stuck forever, and that there is a way out? Well, if so, that's what this video is about, because I'm going to share with you a little bit about my journey to overcoming insomnia. And I'm sure you can relate to my journey in many, many ways, and you can learn from it as well. So I had chronic insomnia for about 30 years. I started off really young, not being able to sleep, being awake all night, and then having to go to school, and then I would fall asleep in class. That was really young. But the worst part of my insomnia, I only slept 1 or 2 days per week. That is it. And during those one or two, I would only sleep about 3 hours. It was like 2 to 4 hours each of those days. So in total, I'd have about 6 hours on my best week between 2 days. For the entire week, 6 hours for the entire week, not 6 hours a day. So I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to suffer and not understand what's going on. And that fear and that, I don't know, you just get scared that is going to last forever. So I know what it's like. I had it for 30 years. I have worked with multiple sleep doctors. I've worked with a couple different naturopaths. I worked with Chinese medicine, a few over the years. I remember, was it in Belize? When I was living in Belize, there's some lady I went and traveled to. She had I don't even know what she was, like her position. She had like this bed that you lay on, and it had magnets that do something underneath, and you go get sessions on it, and it was supposed to cure my insomnia. Yeah, that didn't work. I've tried pretty much every supplement. I've tried pretty much hypnosis. I've tried, I don't know, whatever's out there. I have probably tried it. At the worst of my insomnia, the worst, I was so desperate, and please, please, please do not do this, what I'm about to say. This is a very dark period of my life. I was very depressed. I felt a little, suicidal. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but it was just a very dark period. And I was so desperate to sleep that I started combining my prescription sleeping pill, which was trazodone at the time, with alcohol and over-the-counter sleeping pill, all at the same time to knock me out. I didn't care if it was risky to my health. That's how desperate I was. I understand the desperation, trust me. And most of the time, it would knock me out for an extra hour or so. But you know what? I felt worse the next day than if I slept less without it, or didn't even sleep at all. I would sleep better, no hours sleep, without the alcohol and pills than a few hours or a couple hours with. So I gave that up because I felt better without it. It just does not feel good. Imagine sleeping pills, how they make you feel the next day, double them up, plus alcohol, trying to knock yourself out. I would do shots of tequila. It was bad. It was a bad point in my life and my journey. But over many years of nobody being able to help me, of course I felt like I was broken. I had no hope. There was no possibility of overcoming insomnia. I thought it was going to have to be like this forever. Oh, I forgot to mention, I've done 3 rounds of CBTI, and it didn't work. It was just torture for me. Anyway, so getting close to the 3rd year, like the last year or two, I have all the dates written down that I tried to be accurate on to know when things happened. But towards the end, I was working as a nurse, and I developed a lot of general anxiety and panic attacks that would show up when I was at work. And I started focusing on my anxiety, trying to improve that, understanding anxiety. I even took courses because I thought maybe I can help people, like when I started getting better with my anxiety and understanding it and understanding how fear drives it. And I started learning more about how we develop sleep anxiety and how that all comes from fear and our brain thinking that we're danger. And then I talked to a sleep doctor, which was so different than any other sleep doctor I have ever talked to. And he talked about how he used to do CBTI with his clients, with his patients. He stopped doing that because it just wasn't effective enough for him with his patients. And he started working with them to teach them that they're safe, basically. Basically, everything that I'm teaching here, most of it comes from what I learned from him and my own anxiety journey and everything that I have learned from courses and stuff that I've done. And I've kind of compiled my own journey, things that I've learned in my own experience with what I've learned from the sleep doctor, what I've learned from my anxiety journey, through my own health journey, and that's what I teach here. But anyway, back to overcoming insomnia, I started focusing on teaching my brain that I was safe. It made sense to me when I started to learn and think about how we're scared of not sleeping. Nighttime comes, we have this deep fear. We're trying to escape it, and our brain thinks we're in danger. And the fight or flight system activates and we go to sleep. A big part of what helped me realize that this is true is I would be on the couch, like resting before bed. I always had the perfect sleep hygiene schedule. And I would relax, wait for bed, and I'd actually start to nod off. I'm like, oh, perfect, I'm going to go to bed now. So I go to bed, then all of a sudden I'm wide awake. Like, what the heck is going on? That comes from that fear and your brain activating the fight or flight. Your hyperarousal is up. It doesn't want you to sleep because it's trying to keep you safe from whatever threat is out there, even though there isn't an actual physical threat. So anyway, I realized, wow, that does make sense. Everything I'm learning about this makes so much sense for the first time in my entire insomnia journey. Nothing made sense up until then. So I continued to practice teaching my brain that I was safe, doing everything that I teach here on social media and inside of my programs. And slowly, with time, I started to sleep a little bit more and more and more. And then all of a sudden I'd have a speed bump and it'd go away. I'd have to reteach my brain that I was safe. But it did this for about a year of getting more and more and more sleep and having a little bit of setback, more and more and more, and then a little setback. Eventually, I was sleeping again. Like, I couldn't believe it. Now I sleep about 7.5 hours a night. I sleep great. When it felt like it's impossible. Like, I am so grateful of how far I've made it and how I've been able to overcome insomnia and sleep like a quote-unquote normal person. Just know that your sleep system is not broken and that there is a way out. That's why I wanted to share my journey and share what I have been through. That's just a very small snippet of everything that I have been through. Just a small little summary to help you understand. I just want you to know that you can get through this. Even if it feels like you're broken, this is impossible. It is possible. And I am living proof. And so are my clients who are living proof. You can get there. There is hope. Hang in there. Keep practicing everything that I'm teaching here. And if you ever want to know more about my programs, send me a message. But there's so much that you can learn and apply just from my social media alone. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. I hope that inspires you and gives you some hope. And you are not alone in this. Just know that. So that's it. I will talk to you in the next video.